It's Giving Tuesday. I'm Sherry Mackey, your Marketing and Communications Director for Agape Child and Family Services. And I'm so excited. I've got Julie Sanon on with me right now. Now,
Yes.
Julie, of course, is our COO. Come on now. The Chief Operating Officer. And Julie, it's Giving Tuesday. And we know, of course, with the COVID-19 pandemic that's going on, we've said all morning, we're so appreciative of those on the front lines.
Yes.
Agape is on the front lines of this thing as well. Our families have expressed, their immediate needs. And what are some of those needs that they've expressed and we're already meeting?
Yeah, Sherry, for the families that we serve, the needs have been great all the time, as it regards those needs for the families. I think what we now see is that families are in crisis. And so those needs immediately go to matters such as having food, to be able to provide food for their families, increasing their budgets because the children in a lot of the families that we serve would have been at least fed breakfast and lunch at the schools. And so the parents' grocery budgets have significantly and drastically increased. So food is one of those first issues that the families are bringing to us. Another high need for families is housing stability. And while we know right now there's sort of a moratorium as it regards rent evictions, the stress level of families not paying that rent has increased because they know at some point the rent is going to be due. And so that stress level is high for families. They don't want to get into arrears. And so being able to afford themselves of any service that will help them in paying rent or paying utilities is something that is high on the family's needs as well. And of course, employment. The families that we serve have, of course, been impacted as it regards unemployment. And so those families that are able to work are stressed with trying to find suitable work that is not going to further expose them to COVID.
Wow. And so Agape is meeting that need by having groceries delivered.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We are actually working with a contractor. What we do is Agape is based on voice and choice. We're in 3 different communities in Memphis. We're in Hickory Hill, Whitehaven, and Frazier. For many reasons, we've selected those areas. And I know David has probably shared that with you as well. But we're in those communities in the schools. We're in apartment complexes working with families. And so we have a voice and choice. Our model is a voice and choice. It's a 2-generation model where we serve both the parents in the household as well as the children. And so within those communities, families have voiced these specific needs. And so what Agape is doing is either providing the service or connecting those families with through leverage partnerships to be able to respond to those needs.
And again, y'all, this is Giving Tuesday, your opportunity to give. No amount is too great. No amount is too small. Giving Tuesday now. Yes. We want you to text your gift right now to Agape 2020. Text Agape 2020 to 41444, or you can go online, simply go online to agapemeanslove.org/donate. Click the links and then you can donate there. But see, Agape, we're not only doing something right in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, we serve our communities. Some people, when they hear the name Agape, they assume adoption, they assume one thing or the other. What is Agape for those that may not be familiar?
Yeah, Sherry, I'm glad you asked that. As I spoke earlier, Agape has a model which we call 2-generation. And that is we serve from cradle to career and beyond for families within those 3 communities. And so as it regards early language development for children, as it regards the needs to address the issues which keep the children from being in the classroom, ready and able to learn, as it regards supporting those that are seeking employment but need training and upskilling before they can successfully market themselves to an employer. We work with them and we call that our Teamworks effort, which has to do with GED, post-secondary, and workforce development strategies. We have therapists that are also in those communities providing those resources to families as it regards somebody to talk to,
Yeah.
somebody to be able to share the concerns, the stressors that the families are going through. As you can imagine, that too has been greatly heightened.
Yeah.
And we also have staff that are actually in the apartment complexes, officed in the apartment complexes,
Wow.
working in relationship with families. I get to know you. I get to trust you. I get to have my child there in summer camp or after school programmings. I get to listen to you and talk with you as it regards my needs. And oftentimes those needs are pretty confidential needs. And so because our staff are in those apartments, they're in relationship with the families. We're also working collaboratively with over 100 community partners. And so it's leveraging those resources to be able to help respond to the needs for families. Agape right now recognizes the needs as it regards the digital divide for our families. And so we're working with collaborative partners to address those needs so that students are able to experience the virtual learning, not have gaps in their education during this pandemic time, as well as during the summer times. And so again, it takes a village.
Yeah,
And
it does.
Agape is part of that village. And we want everyone who has a heart to be a part of that village to join us in what we believe is a God-given calling for those families.
Absolutely. And it's Giving Tuesday now. It's everyone's opportunity to join the village.
Join the
It's
village.
everybody's
There's room for
opportunity
everybody.
there's room for everybody to be a part of this. So do me a favor. Go right now to agapemeanslove.org/donate. Give now. Be a blessing to the
Yes.
families that we
Yes.
serve at Agape.
Yes.
Julie, thank you so much.
You are most welcome, and blessings to everybody that sees this recording. It's a privilege to be able to speak on something that I care deeply about.